Written in the back of my old diary, I gotta break sometime. It's underlined and red, scrawled across the screen beneath the spider ring. I gotta break sometime. I left it all unread. And the more I know, the less I seem to care. Weighted down by everything and falling through the air. And the more I hold, the less that I can bear. But hey, I gotta break sometime. Cracked inside a kiln between the firing. I gotta break sometime. You glazed it anyway. Screamed across the city from a windowsill. I gotta break sometime. That's all you had to say. But the more I know, the less I seem to care. Weighted down by everything and falling through the air. And the more I hold, the less that I can bear. But hey, I gotta break sometime. Written in the back of my old diary, I gotta break sometime. It's underlined and lead, scrawled across the screen beneath the spider ring. I gotta break sometime. I left it all unread. Cracked inside a kiln between the firing. I gotta break sometime. You blazed it anyway. Screamed across the city from a windowsill. I gotta break sometime. That's all you had to say.
All right. Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the stream. Not exactly an eventful day today. Hold on. There we go. Not exactly an eventful day today. And the reason for that mainly just being I was sitting here wondering what to do. For stream. What to do, right? I was wondering what am I what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Maybe not in that accent, but same idea. And I couldn't figure it out, so I said, "Fuck it. I'll do one of them just chatting streams. Why not? In fact, actually, hold on. There we go. I have a music thing up. We have some background music, so it's not eerily silent. Do a push up. I mean, I can do that easily. Yeah. Okay, done. One of they, them, they're just talking kind of things. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Fuck. Readjusting in my chair. But yeah, I guess first things first, I should probably address happened yesterday. Insofar as I got an EEG yesterday. Got a brain scan. That's why I overthrow the Libyan government. What government? But yeah, I got an EEG yesterday, and that's why I ended up not streaming. And what that was for was because of I kind of fast-tracked my way to get... It was recommended. We were planning... I hadn't gotten around to scheduling it for a while. So when the seizure happened a while back, I kind of fast-tracked myself into getting that scheduled and getting it done relatively quickly. So I did that yesterday, and I don't have the details, but I did get a message that apparently my doctor reviewed the results, and apparently the results are, apparently they got better results. She got better results from them. Whatever that means, I don't know. I don't fucking know yet. Even I don't know the details. But, if it were anything like, if it were anything emergency inducing, if it were anything of true concern, immediate concern, they, obviously they would have told me. They're obligated to tell me. And would have made it a much bigger priority. So the fact that they're like, yeah, we got some better results, that tells me, at the very least, we might have a better idea of what we're dealing with now. So who knows? I have to schedule a follow-up call with them and all that stuff to see, what's going on with all that. But yeah, did that. Had some real good chicken wings afterwards, because there was a chicken wing shop nearby, and it's real good. It's real good shit. Real good, like southern chicken wings. It was some southern comfort food. It was mainly like chicken wings and Cajun fries and shit. It's the same place I originally got fried okra from. And I was planning on getting fried okra from there, but as it turns out, the fried okra is cooked to order. and we would have had to wait like 10 to 15 minutes if we wanted the okra. So we were like, okay, we'll just do, I'll just do the Cajun fries and like mac and cheese, sure. Because my wing order came with like 2 different sides. So, yeah. No okra this time, but man, the Cajun fries are strong. And that's a compliment. And that's a compliment. I like that. This is good shit. Strong, powerful food and Cajun fries. Good spice and salt. And also, I got emails. Since we're here, why don't we take a look at my emails? I'm not actually going to show you the emails because I don't want to dox myself, but I like this beat. I don't know why. I don't know why I'm doing a little thing to it. I like the beat. I like the beat. Sounds cool. What is this? This legit? Holy shit, I think this might be legit. Ah. Right, this is a QR code. Let me look at this. Yep. Yeah, that's real. Goddamn. Alright, that's kind of awesome. Like, is this this is... Yep, it's real. Oh. Alright. So a while back, a good while back, I had applied to join a Twitch creator club. I had applied to join a Twitch creator club, because I believe I was made aware, specifically the VTubers club. And apparently, and I did this, one, not expecting anything to come of it, and two, because I was hanging around on who is it? Miss Lala's Discord for a while. I was like lurking on there for a little while. And I think it was her. And she advertised the club to people, and they basically have a thing where you can like link the application to it's like a referral system, right? Like you can have people apply under your like referral to give them preferential treatment, and nothing came of it for I think like months. I just got an email that apparently I have been approved. And all vetting makes this email very much look legit. Yep. Everything about this is... Yeah, everything about this is legit. Everything here is real. It actually happened. Goddamn. Alright. I will have to, you know, muck about with that later, obviously, but that's cool. That's cool. I like that. That which for anyone who is unaware, the whole idea behind Twitch clubs is essentially being able to, yeah, her Big Nose Bug and Pumpkin Potion. Yeah, her and Pumpkin are the ones that I followed for a little bit. I think I dropped off their Discord servers purely because I was getting a few too many notifications and I was trying to clean stuff up. But I'm still following them on Twitch. Still following them on Twitch, at least. Not really. I don't think I'm familiar with Big Nose Bug, though. I don't think I'm familiar with that one. But, yeah, so for anyone who's not aware, the whole point behind creator clubs is to essentially create a sort of official Twitch verified server, almost like a Discord server specifically for various Twitch streamers to network with fellow streamers of the same type, right? So, like, in my case, I applied to join the VTubers Club because I do the PNG tuber VTuber thing. You know, it's still technically a form of VTuber, right? Even if I don't have the big, fancy, advanced models and the 3D models, right? And frankly, I don't think I want a 3D model, honestly, because, I mean, I think this... I really like the art for this character. I really like the art for this mascot. I really don't think he would do well in 3D. I really don't think he would. I think he's much better as a 2D creation. But yeah, I applied to the VTubers thing, so that way I'll be able to potentially network with any fellow, network and potentially even collab with any fellow VTubers, join each other's streams or make videos or whatever with each other, that sort of thing, Oops, hit my keyboard. But yeah, I applied to that months ago, and apparently it finally came through. Things are looking up. Things are definitely looking up for me. That is nice. That is nice. I like that. Also, I gotta go use the bathroom. I gotta go use the bathrooms. So I'm gonna put on some actual music again, and I will be back in a little bit. Because I can't hold this. All right, came back just in time. Whoa. I'm back. We're back. We are here again. More stuff. More chatting. Yeah. So where were we? Where were we? Yeah. So yeah, the creator club stuff. That's cool. That's very cool. That's very cool. The email in the email, when you get accepted, aside from like, here's the link to the Discord, yada yada yada, they even what is it? They even give you a little Imgur link. They give you a little Imgur link to a bunch to like Twitch Creator Club pictures, so that you can post them. You can post them on like your socials and be like, thanks for accepting me in the Creator Club or whatever thing. You can post that on your socials or whatever the fuck. As well as what looks to be your own QR code referral link. But yeah, that's neat. As for literally anything else, I don't know. I'm kind of just been trying to take like days like this where nothing much is really happening, at least for me, and trying to just take those and just use them to relax for a bit, just chill out, because things have been very eventful lately. There was the whole seizure thing and having to recover from that. Then I'd do the EEG. And now like this won't get in the way of streams because it's on a Saturday, but like on Saturday I'm going to an event at one of my multiple local game stores to participate in a beta launch event for the Gundam card game. And I was originally doing it for a friend, and now he's got it. I think I talked about this when I was playing. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I talked about it when I was playing the Gundam Breaker game last time. But yeah, it's like, I was doing it originally for a friend because he's like, hey man, I'll compensate you if you manage to get this shit for me. And I was like, sure, I'll do that for you. But, then he managed to get his spot, where he managed to get a spot somewhere where he is. And so now I'm going in purely for my sake, because I may know jack shit about Gundam, but I love a good card game. I love card games. And I understand the gameplay of it, at its fundamental level, and it seems like it's very much a Bandai card game, in that Bandai has created, it seems like ever since Digimon, Bandai card games after Digimon have been operating on a certain formula for how they behave. And I noticed this with the One Piece card game, for instance. Mainly in the energy system being this same thing of having a side deck of like a certain amount of generic cards that serve as your energy, and you gradually generate, an extra one more per turn and all that. And so, like, in One Piece, it's Don cards. In Gundam, it's just generic energy cards or whatever. That kind of thing. And it seems like most Bandai card games now are doing that kind of system, as far as I can tell. They seem to be operating off of a very similar formula. with Digimon being the apparent exception to that. Sorry. And so Gundam seems to be following that formula. So in a way, I do have some experience with it because I have at least tried the One Piece card game. But even now, having been fully caught up on the One Piece anime, I'm not caught up on the manga. I honestly, I don't even know where to go if I would want to read the manga to catch up that way, because I know the manga is starting, they're getting to the beginning of the Elbaf arc. They're starting out on Elbaf now. The Egghead arc is fully finished. They're on to Elbaf now. I'm fully caught up on the anime, at least. I don't know where I'd go to read the manga stuff, because I don't want to go out and buy all the manga volumes. I do not have enough space to keep buying new manga volumes and storing them, right? I would need to do it digitally if I wanted to catch up. But regardless, even after having caught up entirely with One Piece effectively, I don't know. One Piece, I don't feel like... One Piece just doesn't feel like a setting that's very conducive to a card game, if that makes sense. In theory, it makes sense. You're pitting one crew up against another in the form of the two decks. But I don't know. I've never, One Piece just doesn't give me the same kind of feeling as a franchise for one that you could turn into a card game and have it feel like it still makes sense. I don't know where I'm going with this. I guess part of it comes with the fact that the One Piece card game is all separated into colors, similar to how Digimon and all that and Magic and all that are all separated into color systems. And in something like Digimon, the color system kind of makes sense, because Digimon are very archetypal creatures, right? So you can very much have a bunch of colors that represent certain archetypes and certain gameplay styles, and there are obviously going to be Digimon who fit into those, right? Agumon's a dinosaur that breathes fire. Obviously, the majority of Agumon stuff is going to be within the red color, that kind of thing. Obviously, the plant Digimon are going to be in the green color. The angels are going to be in the yellow color, etc. One Piece characters are not that easily archetypal in that way. Some of them might work, maybe. One Piece has purple as a color for. In fact, I think One Piece and Digimon mostly have the same colors, now that I think about it. But there's purple in One Piece. Now, in something like Digimon, purple represents mischievous, chaotic, and/or overtly demonic Digimon. So that's where you get your Myota spawns, your Sons of Chaos, your what the fuck is his name? What was he? Armageddon. Wait, was Armageddon? Was Armageddon purple? No. No, he was white. No. He was white. He was white, aka... Oh, right, he was black and white. Yeah, right. I forgot black is a thing in that Digimon. I totally forgot about that. But yeah, it's, you know, that kind of stuff is for like overtly demonic style stuff. Black is for a whole other type of deal. White can be for... White is usually for very mixed Digimon and stuff like that. But like, you know, how many types of characters in One Piece really fit the whole purple thing? Like, I know Magellan is there. Magellan is there, and that makes sense because poison, right? You know, purple, poison. All right, yeah, I get it. But then there's like, there's a purple Luffy card. Like, what about Luffy would fit into the purple into like the purple color archetype? What about that makes sense? You know, it's just the lines on character archetypes just feel too blurred in One Piece for a card game to make sense. At least to me. So when I try the card game, it's like, okay, you know, as a card game, it seems fine. It's just the aesthetic and style of it. It doesn't sit right with me. I don't know. It's just not that appealing. You know? Gundam, on the other hand, Gundam, I think could work. I don't know, the aesthetic, the style of Gundam feels more appealing as a card game. And also the fact that Gundam seems to actually make use of the IP of Gundam to, you know, to its advantage, rather than One Piece, where, from what I remember playing One Piece, there's not much in the One Piece card game that really feels like it's mechanically unique to the IP. Right? Like, there's not much that feels like I don't remember many mechanics in the One Piece card game that feel like they're trying to emulate something about One Piece. Whereas Gundam, on the other hand, is absolutely taking advantage of. Because the way Gundam works is you can not only play, you know, your Gundams, which, you know, it's obviously the basic stuff that you do, but then you can also place a pilot character underneath the Gundam, and that will give the Gundam bonuses. And they'll even get special bonuses if the pilot specifically corresponds to that Gundam. So if you get a pilot if you pair up a pilot with the Gundam that they canonically piloted in their show, they get special bonuses on top of it, like being able to attack the turn they're played and stuff like that. So I think that's cool, right? You know, it takes advantage of the fact that these are mechs being piloted. You know, it's a unique mechanic that makes sense for the IP. And then on top of that, there are base cards where, similar to Digimon, it has a security mechanic where you have to attack the various cards that's a person has on the side first, and then attack the person when they have no more shield cards left to win the game. And a base card will actually add an additional shield as well as whatever effects the base offers. And again, that makes sense because, you know, you deploy Gundams from bases, and the various bases within the Gundam franchise are known for different things. And so, you know, it's a relatively unique mechanic that makes sense for the Gundam IP. So I think the Gundam card game has mechanically more staying power than something like One Piece. One Piece is going to have staying power purely because it's One Piece as a card game, right? The One Piece card game is not going to die. No matter what criticisms I or anyone else may or may not level against the One Piece card game, that thing is not going to die at all. It is a One Piece product. And if there's anything, if there's anything to know about the One Piece fandom, is they will eat up basically all One Piece products like crazy. The One Piece fandom is rabid for that shit. It is a dedicated fan. That's not to shit talk them. I'm just pointing out it is a dedicated fan base. Probably because most of them have been watching One Piece since they were kids, Like One Piece, depending on where you determine the starting point of One Piece to be, One Piece is older than I am, and I'm 25. So there are absolutely tons of people out there, a generation of people who quite literally grew up watching One Piece in all of its forms. And so, they are dedicated to that, to that IP and that story and all that stuff. And so it's, I absolutely do not blame them for sticking with it at all. I mean, for fuck's sake, I stick with Digimon, and Digimon is nowhere near as big or as successful as One Piece is, And I'm a relatively active fan of Shaman King as well, more active than most people are, mainly in the fact that I acknowledge Shaman King's existence. So, I absolutely do not blame him. I do not blame him at all. But yeah, it's just something. It's just something, I just hope the gameplay of I figure Gundam has a similar kind of staying power, both mechanically as a card game, but also because it's Gundam. Gundam similarly has that sort of legacy that One Piece does, that I think is going to allow it to stick around for a while. I just hope that sort of legacy staying power doesn't prompt Bandai to get complacent with the game. Because I think it looks, it looks really unique, and it could get off to a good start. They just need to stick with it like they've done with, Digimon and One Piece and all that. I think the fact that, I think Digimon game-wise, gameplay-wise, mechanically is in a really good place. I think Digimon, there's a lot of really creative and interesting and generally just fun play styles in Digimon that, really, it encourages experimentation and keeps people sticking around once they really get into it. So I think Bandai's really got something there because they've managed to not give up on it like some other companies may have, because it's Digimon and it's nowhere near as successful as other Bandai property. I just, like any Digimon fan though, I just wish Digimon did get more attention, because the TCG is about all we've got right now. There's really not much. Well, and no, I mean, you could say Liberator as well, because it's a webcomic, but it's a webcomic about the TCG. So, explicitly about the TCG, like Yu-Gi-Oh style, right? So, pretty much most of the stuff with Digimon is all piled into the TCG right now. It's like, there's not much going on with it beyond that, and I kind of wish there was more. A new anime might be cool. I mean, fuck it. Turn, you're getting a decent amount of content in. Turn Liberator into an anime. I think Liberator could be fun. The Liberator anime could be fun, and it could help advertise the TCG even more. Because, I mean, really, how many people are going to just randomly find the Liberator webcomic online? You know? You gotta really stick that somewhere else. That's the Western comic book problem, where the Western comics industry is in a bit of a pickle, in that they can retain their current user base just fine, but they're basically in a permanent state of plateauing, because it's extremely difficult to get someone into new comics. It's extremely difficult to get someone new into comics, is what I meant to say. Because one, people are sort of afraid to try and jump in to any random issue, like the most recent issue of any random comic, because they think they need to know everything that's happened beforehand to fully understand what's going on, even though most of the time that's not true. And a lot of the times with comics now, the first or second page actually has like a basic summary of what the current storyline is to catch you up to speed. But on top of that, so that means people aren't going into specialty stores and things like that for comics, because why would they go? Why would they go? If they're so afraid of starting, why would they go into a specialty store to begin with? But then, at the same time, there's nowhere else that you can find comics other than specialty stores. You can't find them anywhere else. They're not, they used to be sold at newspaper stands and things like that, wide out in the public and all, but now you don't find them anywhere. If you would just, I figure you'd probably get more readers just by sticking them in like grocery stores or where else newsstands still exist, maybe. Just random little public spaces where people regularly go. I think the main thing would be like grocery stores, convenience stores, stuff like that. But they just don't. And so the comics world is just kind of stuck in this perpetual cycle of retaining the same readers and not growing, like, at all. And Digimon's stuck in a similar cycle, where you've got your predetermined Digimon fans, and everything new Digimon related is only coming out on Digimon-based websites and things like that, where where new people can't find them, and new people won't get exposed to it. So it's like, what's the point of Liberator in promoting the Digimon TCG when most Digimon players or most Digimon fans already play the TCG to some capacity? And Liberator's entire purpose is to promote the TCG, as well as the Digimon franchise as a whole. You gotta get it out there into a public space where random people, unconnected to Digimon, will find it. This is marketing 101, I guess. Man, I should apply to work in marketing, huh? I should join a sales team somewhere. God damn. I got a text. Oh, yeah. But yeah, I mean, there you go. You got my opinions on quite a lot of stuff there in some crazy, crazy rant that I just went off on. Whew. I guess my ability to go on tangents is coming in handy today. Funny. But you know, sometimes it's good to just say stuff, you know. Do a bit of yelling into the void, you know. I mean, that's why I started this channel to begin with, right? It's because, like, like, back in high school, the friend group I was with back in high school, you know, whenever we met in, like, the morning and or during lunch or stuff, you know, we'd talk about whatever, and during that time, I was one of the main people there talking about video games and shit, and knowing that, you know, we'd all be disconnected from each other for the most part, because, you know, we'd all be going off to different colleges and things like that after high school. Graduating high school kind of motivated me to start this channel to begin with, because I needed an outlet, basically. I needed an outlet to yell into the void about my feelings on video games and the industry and all this other stuff and all that, so I'm not stuck here going crazy inside my own head. And you know what? I'd say it's worked out. I've learned quite a lot in this time. You know? It's been a good number of years, and I've learned quite a lot in those years. I've learned a good bit. Nope, you're still crazy. Hey, well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily about getting rid of the crazy. It was just making sure I had an outlet for the crazy. It just turned out that some people like either hearing about my crazy, or they just like the sound of my voice. Because I have been told before that I have, like, a voice for radio kind of thing going on. With my sort of monotone thing going on here. Baritone, what you want to call it. I know one of my high school friends said something along the lines of, like, he said something along the lines of, like, he's not gay, but if he was, he'd find my voice attractive. That kind of thing. It's a funny thing to consider. Which, you know, I'm certainly not against having the radio voice. You know, the radio voice is certainly nice. Although, not exactly the right era for the radio voice, maybe. radio's a little bit dead. I guess maybe this is the modern era of radio, you know? This is the modern era, radio. You know, just someone just live streaming and just talking. Podcasts, things like that. That's just the modern evolution of the radio. Rather than normal radio stations, people tune into streams and podcasts and all the other stuff. I mean, for fuck's sake, Twitch has DJ streams now. Yeah, that's basically just radio again. That's you know, you're one step away from just being a radio station at that point with the DJ streams. Now the problem, the Jesse Cox problem of basically having to be an eccentric goofball. Yeah, but that means you can do like, you know, silly fun things, and you know, people can, you know, you can write it off as you just being your that's your eccentric self, you know? You can get away with shit. Like Jesse can get away with some silly shit because everyone knows he does the silly shit. That kind of thing. Krendor gets away with the silly shit because I think most people are convinced Krendor is a sociopath of some kind. And so the silly shit is considered tame. With his completely monotone voice paired with his seemingly forever smile that he has on his face when you look at him. Like he's always got some sort of smile on him, but his voice sounds emotionless. Until he laughs. Looks like I'm doing some chipotle for dinner. Hold on. Sociopath would assume he acts in his own self-interest. He's too lazy for that. Okay, now that's a good one. That's a good one. Like that one. Too lazy to even act in his own self-interest. Ah, that's good. Oh god. Stretch. Clapping my hands to the mic. Alright. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, right. Virtua Fighter. So I've been playing Virtua Fighter Revo lately. And you know, initially I'm like, yeah, mistakes are being made here. I'm bad at fighting games. But I'm actually enjoying this one quite a bit, and I think it's because Virtua Fighter is much slower than most other fighting games. Virtua Fighter is much slower and more deliberate. Like, combos are not nearly as crazy, and people are not moving around nearly as much, so it's much easier to keep a track of what in the world is going on screen. And beyond that, it runs surprisingly well. It runs very well, actually. I didn't. Well, now granted, I only found out later that this is actually a remaster, re-release port thing of a PS3 Virtua Fighter game, I think. Because that has like 6 different versions or some shit. But whatever, I'm fine with it. I don't care. It plays well as far as I'm concerned. I'm having fun. And I think I found I think I found the character I'm doing decently with. And that's John Cujo, the karate guy. Who apparently debuted in one of the versions of Virtua Fighter 5. And the thing with John Cujo, what was it? So, aside from, me just thinking I'm kind of figuring him out and all that, he's the first one that I managed to actually beat arcade mode with. So there's that. And when I say beat arcade mode, I mean I've been able to, with other characters, I've been able to get through the gauntlet. But then the way Virtua Fighter does it is you get through the gauntlet and then you reach the true final boss, which is Dural, which is this like a woman-shaped metal thing. There's a whole weird plot behind it that I did some looking into, and it's stupid and whatever because fighting game nonsense. But it's, like the secret final boss of the arcade mode, and the gimmick is if you lose to Dural, then you just lose straight up. That's it. You're not allowed to like restart the fight. You're not allowed to continue like you can with the other fights. So you lose to that thing, you have to start the entire arcade mode over. And so that's what happened to me most of the time. But then with Jean, I actually managed to beat it. I managed to beat the metal thing. Woman-shaped metal thing. A Warframe. Not really a Warframe. Think more like the T-1000 if it was a woman. Was it the T-1000? Yes, the T-1000, the liquid metal one. Think of like the T-1000 when it's in its liquid metal form. When it's all shiny and reflective and shit. But shaped like a woman instead. That's Dural. And so, it's a stupidly, it's a hard, annoying fight, whatever. At least for a novice like me. But, I beat it and I'm like, oh shit, I might be onto something here. So, I take it to online. But you know what? I actually start doing well. I'm actually doing well online. I'm winning fights and stuff like that. And then I get to this one guy. Now, granted, there is rollback netcode. It's not always the best. There's still sometimes, depending on who you're playing, there's still sometimes some good lag. And at the very least, I know it's either their servers or the other person because I'm on a LAN, well, not LAN, but, I'm on a wired connection. I'm on extremely good internet, right? The things are lagging just a little bit, but, it's not unplayable. It's not unplayable. We're both still having a good, fair fight most of the way through, right? But then I end up winning the whole match. And the instant I win the match, like the instant he gets KO'd, like 1 second after he gets KO'd, I get a pop-up that says a network error has occurred. And I get booted to the main menu. Now, I understand he was already lagging a a good bit. I understand the connections can be pretty bad. But at the same time, that was incredibly suspicious. That was incredibly suspicious. I really got the feeling there that he, like, disconnected his internet, that whoever was on the other end disconnected their internet the moment they lost so that they couldn't get the loss on their record. One of those rage quits, you know? It may very well have not been, because again, there was lag during the fight. It could have just been, a coincidence. Very much could have been. But it's just really, really well timed. Really well timed. Yeah, aside from that fun little thing, I've been surprisingly enjoying Virtua Fighter a good deal. It even reacts well to dual monitor setups, surprisingly. That was something I really did not expect, like, at all. I was just really not expecting it to respond so well to a dual monitor setup. It responds perfectly to a dual monitor setup. When I loaded it up, it was already by default in full screen windowed mode, right? So, false full screen, basically, which is always how I want it. And then anytime I didn't have to, like, hit Alt Tab or anything to go to my other stuff. I could literally just take my mouse, even when I had, I play it with controller, right? But I could just take my mouse, move it over to the other screen, and I could click and do whatever over there just fine, and then click back in the Virtua Fighter, move my controller stick so it knows to use the controller bindings instead, and we're all good. Like, it's able to swap between keyboard and controller immediately, perfectly. It's able to go between monitors perfectly. It's super well done. Like, I've seen people complaining about optimization and shit, and I'm like, I don't know where the complaints are. The game's running at a solid 60 frames a second for me. And it's doing it in perfect borderless windowed. It's not freaking out at all. It's really, really good. It's a really good port or remaster, whatever it is, of VF5. Really, that alone is really, really good. That alone gives me, makes me recommend it way more. Now, I'm considering maybe, I already have a review in the works, obviously. In fact, I finished the script for it today. Probably going to record the script for it tomorrow and actually get to editing the audio for it tomorrow. But I'm thinking maybe after that, maybe I'll start recording footage for a review of Virtua Fighter, just to give the opinions of a non Virtua Fighter, like, a non-active player, basically. I feel like the perspective of a relative newbie is also important for something like a fighting game. Because fighting games, as niche as they can get, and as difficult as they can be to get into, making them niche, it's important to understand. It's important to make sure that game feels relatively accessible to new people. and also generally feels fun to people who are even bad at it. Like, apparently I can tell you just from demoing the game at PAX, my mom has certainly given Tekken 8 a thumbs up. Because me and her went and I don't know what she saw like on the big screen at PAX. I think it was Tekken 8. It was either Tekken 8 or Tekken 7, one of the PAXs. I don't remember which PAX this was. This might have been the most recent one, might not have been. Might have been the one before. But there was a big booth for the newest Tekken. I'm pretty sure it was 8. Yeah. Yeah, no, pretty sure it was 8. And my mom saw like the big TV screen that was showing off a Tekken match. You know, obviously one of the Tekken matches. It was showing off one of the matches there, and she saw one of the characters. I don't remember who it was. Hold on, let me look up the Tekken 8 roster so I can know exactly who it was. Might have been her. It might have been. Okay, I think it was. I think it was Nina. She saw. It was either Nina or Lydia that she saw at the booth, and for some reason, something about fighting games on top of that just catches her interest. No, it was definitely Nina. It was definitely Nina. Nina Williams. I think she saw that on the screen, and something about that combined with like just Tekken in general seemed to catch her attention for some reason. I don't know why, but she really wanted to try it, so we ended up going in together so we can, you know, face off against each other. And I made a mistake because she picked Nina, and basically, I mean, she spammed. All right, I mean, obviously, she didn't exactly know what was, you know, how to play it. Obviously, neither of us really. I just understood the basic concept of it. But you know, she's basically spamming moves for the most part and getting a decent number of combos off in the process, surprisingly. But the big mistake I made was I did not pick Leroy, who was my main in Tekken 7. I did not pick Leroy. I picked King because I thought it'd be funny. And it was. But also, it's King. And King is a wrestler. So he's a grappler. I was not in the right mindset to play a grappler. I was not doing that. I really wasn't. So I ended up inadvertently like missing all of my attempted grapples and shit, and so I ended up inadvertently getting my ass beat. Oops. That was a interesting little accident. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny how like fighting games specifically catch my mom's attention a lot of the time when she sees them. I think it's because they're 2D. I think it's because they're you know, more modern looking action games, but they're 2D. And she much prefers 2D games. And you know, Tekken does have the whole 3D you can sidestep thing, but for the most part, most Tekken gameplay, the majority of Tekken's gameplay is, you know, 2D fighter style stuff. And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's because of that she's like gravitating towards it. Is, you know, in the modern AAA stuff that's not confusing like 3D is. Talking about Tekken's always about 3 dimensions, always has been. I know, but it's not 3 dimensions in the same way that like it's not 3D in the same way that, say, a third person or first like a Zelda game or a first person shooter is. Because you gotta understand it from my mom's perspective, someone who's nowhere near as experienced with video games as either me or my dad. She doesn't have that movement. She doesn't have those muscle memories that we do. For her, the very act of trying to move while looking around at the same time, the ability to move and manipulating the camera simultaneously in a game is still something that she has difficulty with. So like when she tries to pick up Zelda, like Breath of the Wild, she's still having difficulty just getting a handle on the camera mechanics. Because she's just constantly forgetting that the camera's there, let alone that she's able to manipulate it at the same time as being able to move. You know, at best, she still mostly operates on tank controls. So, in comparison, something like Tekken operates, you know, as far as she's concerned, Tekken practically operates entirely on a 2D plane. Even though, you know, it's all about, you know, Tekken specifically has the selling point of being 3D and being able to, you know, sidestep and do all that, you know, kooky shit that most other fighters don't have you do. You're not completely just running around the arena like a brawler or something with complete... You don't have total control over the cameras. You only need to worry about the one angle, basically. It's like, you know, as far as she's concerned, it's basically 2D. Almost 2.5D. You know? So she's able to... She understands Tekken way more than she understands Zelda or Portal. In fact, I think we got her to try Portal once during during one of the older PAXs at in the like PC free play area, and she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. Maybe it was the environment putting pressure on her or something, or maybe it's the fact that it was on PC instead of a console. But it was attempting to do the portal stuff was giving her nausea. It was genuinely fucking with her. Like the perspective flips and shit that happen in Portal. Aside from the fact that, you know, she was doing tank controls, which in Portal is fine. Because in Portal you can take as much time as you want for the most part. Aside from a few certain puzzles. You know, most puzzles allow you to just to, you know, stand around and think things through. But like the perspective changes and shit that can happen to you when you go through portals, it was genuinely fucking with her and giving her like, and like making her feel uneasy. Because that's how it feels. That's how it feels to someone who's not familiar with that kind of stuff, you know? Does she play Harvest Moon type games? I get the feeling she would. If she got a hold of one, she probably would. Her main two games, which are both on the Switch, are Animal Crossing and which she's still she's still having trouble remembering how to do a few things there. Animal Crossing and Puyo Puyo Tetris. And the only reason for Puyo Puyo Tetris is because I saw it was on sale for like $2, like $1 or $2 at one point, and I encouraged her to get it because it means that she's able to use it for Tetris. Like, she loves puzzle games. That's one thing, something she attaches to real quick is puzzle games. And she plays a lot of Tetris on that thing now. She does a lot of like when she's just killing time listening to an audiobook or whatever, she'll just be playing Tetris. She doesn't even play the Puyo Puyo part. she just plays the Tetris part. And, you know, actually, you mentioned the Harvest Moon type stuff. I think this might be another reason why she gravitated towards the Tekken stuff so much, you know, during PAX and all that, was because something that gets her with Animal Crossing, as much as she, you know, likes the aesthetic and, you know, has fun with the game, right? As much as she likes it, she has a problem with the open-endedness. The fact that the game is not explicitly clear about her objective 100% of the time. She likes having a very clear objective on what to do, and in something like Tekken, her objective is clear. There's another person there. Destroy them. It's a very clear objective, so she doesn't need to think about what she actually has to do. She just needs to do it. I think that's probably why she also likes puzzle games so much, because puzzle games have a clear objective. Solve this puzzle. And that way she can put all her brain power into figuring out how to solve the puzzle, instead of trying to remember what she's actually doing. Whereas in Animal Crossing, you reach a point, you know, they stop telling you what to do. You just kind of gotta pick things up. Well, you know, both metaphorically and literally. Because, like, she wants to grow the town and, you know, see more of what the game has to offer, but she's not sure how to do any of that. Because the game's not telling her what she should be doing to progress. And for her, that, you know, not being able to figure that out gets to be kind of demoralizing after a while. So having a clear objective and understandable, even if they're not necessarily easy controls, really helps. And I think it helps for a lot of people. It's a lot of people like her. You know, people who, they'll admit that they might not even necessarily be good at whatever games they prefer to play, but they enjoy playing them because they meet those requirements. The controls are easy enough for them to understand what they're doing for the most part, and they don't have to put their brain power into, they don't have to think about what they're doing, because then that just makes them confused. It's kind of like there's that one channel. What was it? Was it like Rasputin or something like that? The guy who does the girlfriend plays. Is it this guy? Yeah, gaming for a non-gamer. Those are his videos. Sorry, that was me going to his channel. Yeah, so he's got like what Baldur's Gate 3 is like for someone who doesn't really play games. What Tears of the Kingdom, yeah, paper bag on head guy, yeah. He's like what Tears of the Kingdom is like for someone who doesn't play games, etc., etc. So it's kind of like that. How long have we been going? An hour 30? Well, I think food's probably gonna get here soon. I should probably call it for now. Even though it is early. But, you know, I don't want to turn this into a mukbang. So, yeah, I think I'll call it there for today. This was a fun little chat. You know, keeping everybody caught up on things. Tomorrow, we'll be doing something similar to this, but, you know, obviously it'll be Friday. So, we'll have ducks. We'll have a whole rooftop full of ducks to stare at. So I hope you'll all show up for that. So yeah, I think we'll be calling it there for today. I hope you enjoyed hanging out. I hope this was a relaxing little experience, maybe even an insightful one, based off of all the stuff we talked about. And yeah, I'll see you all later.